Hey guys, it's Druid here today, and today we're going to talk about Balanced Druid and its current state in Arena. We're not looking at Battlegrounds, and we're not looking at boss fights and raiding, we're looking at Arena. We're going to look at reasons why you should play a Balanced Druid in Arena, and also some of the drawbacks of playing a Balanced Druid in Arena. So, first off, let's look at the positives. So, Balanced Druids have a great ability to spread pressure, dot, and rot everybody. With Sunfire, Moonfire, spreading across maybe 3 targets, it's very strong. This is just amplified by the Starfall when you put on top of it. The Starfall just does so much damage, and the reason why I think some people should start thinking about playing a Balanced Druid is because in 7.1.5, that Starfall is just going to get buffed, and I think the arena potential for a Balanced Druid is just going to get even better. The rot pressure will be amazing. Now, when you pair this Balanced Druid with an Affilock, it's just, it gets too much sometimes, and the damage is crazy. Affilock, Balanced Druid, the rot and spread pressure is just so strong, and it is so good at taking down many teams. Although it may not be a high tier comp, it works definitely at lower CR. Furthermore, Balanced Druids have a good slew of defensives. So you've got Bear Form, which is not particularly defensive, but it's very good at stopping damage. And you can spec into Bear Form. What I mean by that is the Honor talent makes you take more healing and less damage in Bear Form. You can also use Black Skin, which is a very low cooldown. That's also very good. So although it doesn't have as much as some other things, like a Lock has a lot of defensives, Balanced Druids still have enough to make do. And their mobility is quite strong with Displacer Beast, and then you can go Cat Form and use Dash. It's quite strong, but it is probably one of the weaker things about Balanced Druids. So looking on the negative side, if there's something wrong or that's not so great about Balanced Druid, it's probably the lack of defensives. If a Balanced Druid gets trained really hard, they pretty much just have to either sit in Bear Form or die. Now the problem with sitting in Bear Form is you just don't do any damage. You've lost control being in Bear Form, and that control is very hard to get back unless the people you're playing with, your healers or your other damage, like just start hitting the enemy and get that control back. But as soon as you're on Bear Form, you're out of the picture pretty much. Anyways, looking back towards the positive side, Balanced Druids do have a good amount of CC. Now this CC is great at being used to stop the enemy from hitting you and forcing you to go into Bear Form. So abilities such as Cyclone, Entangling Roots, Bash, all very good. Now Cyclone is just the best. Cyclone is so good at shutting down targets. Now as you can see in the clip here, there's 2 Paladins and an Assassination Rogue, and they're just getting completely shut down by a Cyclone, just cycloning, and they're just stopped. And they just can't do anything. On top of that, if you want, you can spec into Entangling Roots so that they don't break after taking damage. And this is another thing, another fun thing Balanced Druids can do. They could Entangling Roots you with this talent, and then they could put their Solar Beam on top of the target, so the target can't do anything for pretty much 8 seconds. And then you can just free cast and just demolish this target while they're stuck and silenced there. That's another strong utility they have. Bash is another good 5-second stun, and yeah. So, now let's look at the final positive of Balanced Druids, their ability to not only spread pressure, but have strong burst. Balanced Druids have such good burst. If you can peek around a corner and then full moon someone, and they'll take a lot of damage, and then if that full moon wasn't enough, you can get 80 astral power, so you can go to a target with 80 astral power, double Star Surge, cast full moon, and then you could use Astral Communion, and then Star Surge a few more times. And that damage is so good at just nuking down targets. And if you partner with another good nuker, then that target's going to die. So, in summary, the positives are good CC, good rot and spread damage, good burst damage when needed, and also they have suitable escape mechanisms. They're not quite a monk, but they have some good mobility. And they've got bear form if everything gets a bit rough. Now that we've talked about the strong positives, let's look at the negatives. As we've already said a little bit, they lack a few defensives and a little bit of mobility. Now, if you don't spec into Displacer Beast, you're pretty much left with no mobility at all. And if you want to get more defensives, you have to spec into Renewal. And spec into Renewal to get that defensive means you will not have any mobility. And it's a bit of a lose-lose. Balancers lack that mobility and they lack the defensives, which means it's important for them to have a healer. When they have a healer, they can be healed up and they have the ability to kind of just be free, rot, and dot. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.